What are you waiting for?
Come join the Geek Drums Nation. Welcome to Side by Side Comparisons, Episode 2. In this episode, we will be talking about Hunter Zolomon, aka Zoom, the second Reverse Flash, if you want to call him that. Now, let's start out with their origins. Now, their origins aren't too different from each other. On the TV show, Hunter Zolomon's father was he was in the army, war veteran, alcoholic, you can call him all of that, came home one night, decided to kill Zoom's mother. Whereas in the comics, Hunter Zolomon's father, their family was not close at all. They didn't talk to each other, let alone him. His father was, however, a serial killer, which is the origin that they gave Zoom over on the show. But his father did, in fact, kill his mother in the comic books as well. Now, the other differences lie in the fact that Hunter Zolomon was from the main Earth, and he was a big bad of Wally West. He eventually did become a big bad of Barry Allen, but that was much, much later. That actually happened recently in the Rebirth comics, where he even gained the Flash suit and gained actual connection to the Speed Force, if I can say it that way. Now, let's talk about how he gained his powers. In the TV show, he was struck by lightning, the same way that Barry was. In the comics, he was severely injured in an attack by Gorilla Grodd in Iron Heights. The injuries left Hunter paralyzed from the waist down. He asked Wally West to use the time-traveling cosmic treadmill in the Flash Museum. Yes, they were friends. Yes, he knew that Wally was the Flash because his constant work as a profiler and working with the police department in Keystone City in the Metahuman Hostilities Department, it put him in constant contact with the current Flash, which at the time was Wally West. So yes, he asked him to use the cosmic treadmill in the Flash Museum to prevent this from occurring. Wally West refused, saying that he could not risk damaging the time stream because, it happened. It's gonna happen. If Zoom does not get hurt, if he does not get paralyzed, somebody else will. We know Wally West does not play with the timeline like that. So Zolomon then broke into the museum and attempted to use the treadmill himself. This resulted in an explosion, destroying the museum and shifted Hunter's connection to time. He can now alter his personal time frame, given the effect of super speed. The idea made him able to slow down time around him, and later he would gain those powers in full. Zolomon decided that West had refused to help because, unlike the previous Flash, Barry Allen, West had never suffered personal tragedy. Zolomon decided that if he became the new Zoom and killed West's wife, that this would help the Flash become a better hero. Flash succeeded in defeating Zoom, preventing Linda's death, but his attack caused the miscarriage of their twin children. Zolomon was forced into a temporal anomaly and ended up in a comatose state, continually watching the death of his father-in-law. Yes, this version of Zoom was married, and his wife's father, was killed because of a mistake on his part, because him and Ashley, did not expect the criminal to have a gun, which was basically his idea. Zolomon's not that bright. His ex-wife replaced him as a profiler and spent a lot of time attempting to communicate with him due to a car accident. Ashley was hospitalized for some time. It was around this period of time that Zoom awoke from his coma out of concern for Ashley. He cautiously chose to remain in his cell, however. So, where that differs is, in the show, there was no Ashley. In the show, Zoom was a deranged serial killer who decided to try to become the fastest speedster ever, jump to different Earths, find different Flashes, steal their speed. And he was using Velocity 9 to help him do so. He was just a drugged up junkie, as Reverse Flash called him in the finale. So, how do you guys feel about that? Would you have liked to have seen more of a comic book accurate storyline on the show? Or do you like what we got? Me personally, I'm either or. I think comic book Zolomon is cool. I also think TV show Zolomon is cool. Zoom was one of the best villains of the show, if we want to be honest. Season 2 of The Flash was peak Flash, if we want to be completely honest. Let's jump to powers and abilities. So first, let's talk about the comic book version and see where he stacks up against the TV show version. He has localized cryokinesis. Like I said, he does not move at super speed, but he can move at speeds rivaling those of even Wally West, and usually faster than the speeds that even Wally West can muster in most cases. He uses time travel to run fast. He time travels with every step he takes. Zoom has the power to control his own personal timeline. He speeds up his own timeline to run faster and slows down his own timeline to move slower. The temporal nature of his speed allows him to avoid the usual problems encountered by other Flash-type speedsters: friction, seeing and hearing at such near light speeds, etc., whose automatic and unconscious use of the Speed Force overcomes those problems. As he's moving at a normal velocity, the rest of the world is slow. Those hindrances simply do not affect him. He has superhuman reflexes, superhuman durability, superhuman strength, enhanced mental process. When manipulating his own personal time field, the speed of Zoom's brain synapses are greatly heightened, allowing him to think much faster than a normal person. His enhanced senses. When manipulating his own personal time field, Zoom's senses are greatly heightened. Enhanced hearing. When he first discovered his powers, Zoom was able to hear the buzzing of a fly from down the hall. He has energy projection, intangibility, shock waves, and power distribution. He has demonstrated an ability to grant a form of super speed to other beings by giving them the ability to control their own relative time through Zoom himself. He was able to grant this power to Inertia, who, as we know, Inertia is a clone of Bart Allen. His name is Thaddeus Thawne. We'll get to him. We'll eventually get to him, because what Wally West did to him in revenge for Bart was just crazy. But he also has other abilities, as he is a master criminologist. He was a cop, so investigation. Martial arts. He defended himself from Murmur with a cane and even disarmed him of his knives in the process. He even got the better of Batman and Superman in battle, and at one point in time strangled Wonder Woman with her own lasso. He can do Taekwondo. He has FBI training. He's trained in using firearms, psychology, tactical analysis. One of his former weaknesses was, however, power limitation. At a certain point in his career, Zoom couldn't vibrate his molecules like speedster enemies enough to phase through solid matter. Because of this, the Flash was able to gain a considerable distance on Zoom, because Zoom would need to run around physical blockades. But like I said, in the current Rebirth line, he did gain access to the actual Speed Force. So, in the show, where that differs is, he was a full-blown speedster. He got struck by lightning. He was infused with the Speed Force. We see him able to catch lightning, throw lightning. He even taught Barry how to throw lightning. His super speed rivaled that of the Flash on the TV show because of the use of the drug Velocity 9. And Zoom was huge. He was a brawler. Hand-to-hand combat, he literally had demonic claws coming out of his hand. I think their powers and abilities do kind of line up. We didn't see everything that Zoom could do, because, well, you only have so much time on the TV show, whereas in a comic book, you can flesh out a character, to a greater extent. But guys, what do you think? Where do you think they stack up against each other? I'm taking both all day. I always said I would have liked to have seen, maybe in this new post-crisis timeline, that Hunter Zolomon lined up more. He lined up more with his comic book counterpart. Before we go, I want to read this quote just to give you guys an idea of who Hunter Zolomon is, because I don't think I've said this yet, but he is not the first Zoom. Reverse Flash, they call Eobard Thawne Professor Zoom. They do it a lot pre-crisis. They do it a lot in the Flash, after Flashpoint in the New 52. They do it a lot. He's known as Professor Zoom, and this quote explains a lot. So, and I quote, it says, "My name is Hunter Zolomon. Despite what the public believes, I am the fastest man alive. I am Zoom, but I am not a rogue. Far from it. I have taken the name and colors from Eobard Thawne, the time traveler known as Professor Zoom, in order to terrorize my friend, Wally West, the Flash. I suffered through tragedy. I lost my family to it. I understand the depths it will drag one down to, and only by surviving it does one become stronger. I will recreate myself to help my friend, and in turn, the world. I will do anything to make the Flash a better hero." Unquote. That was said by Hunter Zolomon. So yes, he's known as Zoom. He's known as Reverse Flash. He adopted the identity. Now, Thawne does not respect this man at all, because one, he's not a real speedster. He's not a real speedster. So yeah. But guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what character you want to see next. I love doing deep dives. I'm going to try to dive even deeper into other characters. But Zoom, he's a fan favorite. And yeah, I'm taking either version of the character, honestly. Both stack up to me. Both are amazing characters. Both have really, really good backstories. And like I said, if we would have gotten more time with Zoom, maybe in the post-crisis timeline, we could have heard that this version of Zoom lined up more with the comics. But guys, let me know what you think. My Superman and Lois review is posted. And guys, like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Never miss another one of my videos. And I will check you guys next time.